पीपीटी बनाने के लिए टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा। वहां पे स्टार्ट हो गया। Yeah. Good afternoon to everyone. So we are back with the botany second year's class. Okay. So till now, what we have finished in the since 2 days, we have started with the FAQs questions from the 9th chapter, that is then the genetics. So the last question that was left out in this chapter. So what we have finished is the first one, just to give a quick recap. Those who joined today only for the class, otherwise the students who wants to see this class. That is the first one is the genetics chapter. Now we are going to continue. So in this, we have finished the why Mendel selected pea plant, that question, and the second question, that is the dominant recessive differences, homozygous and the heterozygous. The differences we said. And the next one is the law of dominance we have finished, and the test cross, that was also we have finished. Then the codominance and the incomplete dominance also we have finished till now. That means maximum questions were over. 90% questions we have finished. So the last two questions left out from this chapter are the mutations, and the next one is law of independent assortment. Okay, so that is the statement what we have to say for the law of independent assortment. So what Mendel has given the law of segregation and the law of independent assortment. Law of segregation is nothing but the law of dominance, that is a monohybrid cross, and the law of independent assortment related with the dihybrid cross. True to capture the stage he has taken for the hybridization process, that is called as the dihybrid cross. It is the law of independent assortment where the two alleles independently exhibiting their characters without blending with one another. That is the law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment. So what is meant by this? This is nothing but the dihybrid cross. What we know. Okay, because now I am saying only for the supply students. So where I cannot guess that everyone knows all the scientific words, otherwise the law names itself. At least we know the monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross. Monohybrid cross means for the hybridization process, only one character was taken at a stretch. And dihybrid cross means two characters are taken at a stretch for the hybridization process. That is the dihybrid cross. So in this, the dihybrid cross is also, and the law, the what Mendel framed and said as the law of independent assortment. Okay. So how to say this law of independent assortment? Don't mug up the answer. So use your logic, that is the brain, to give the answer, because in my subject maximum definitions were not framed. We can say the definition how we have understood and how easily we can express the answer. That's the one what we have to catch on. Okay, so in the law of independent assortment, what it says, the hybridization when occurs between the two different characteristics of the organism. That means when two characters at a stretch are taken out for the hybridization process, and these two genes, the characters are represented with the genes, isn't it? So these two genes never blend with one another. Blending means mixing up. So here we should not use the word as the mixing up. We have to use the proper word over here. That is the nothing but the blending. The characters which won't blend with one another, and express in the next generation independently. That is called as the law of independent assortment. And in this, how he can explain this, what he has taken the characters for the explanation in the pea plant. He has taken the characters that are the contrasting characters which are present nearer to one another on a gene. That is a yellow color and the yellow color and the round shaped seeds. He has taken the seeds of having the yellow color and the round shape. So both are the ones which are dominant in nature, and those are expressed as it is without blending with one another. And why they are coming in the as it is manner expressed in the many offsprings, because both are present nearer to one another on a single chromosome. So they can express as it is in many organisms, many offsprings in the next generation. So that is called as the independent assortment. Okay. And the law of segregation. What is meant by law of segregation? Law of segregation means when the characters which are coming to the next generation, only the dominant characters will be expressive and the recessive characters will not be expressive in the next generation. That is called as the law of segregation. And in this, the gene is having the both the alleles, that is the dominant and the recessive allele, but only the dominant characters are expressing by suppressing the recessive allelic characters. There is a law of segregation. Okay. Now we will go with the most important concept and the topic in this chapter. That is the last one also we can say. So that is nothing but the mutations. So what is meant by mutation? So how to start this answer and what to write in this answer is the mandatory one. And learn in such a way that it will be remember forever for us. Okay. And these are the ones what it will carry out in our higher studies also. When you are doing the MBBS also the same thing. Even if you go with the degree botany, again the genetics will come. Okay. And this part will be having the one exact chapter is completely made up of the mutations. And the next chapter is linked to this chapter only. Like that, the degree schedules and the syllabus was made. Okay. Why they are made with this? Why this much, that much important topic? Yes, that's the important topic only, because in the mutations only, through these mutations only, we can say the characters which are coming and which characters were changed, by what reason they changed in the organism. We need to know about all these things. When we have seen our parental characters to us, that means not the parent, the grandparents, parents, and we. 3 generations, if you have seen, then in these 3 generations, the commonly occurring characters are the ones what we can say. And apart from that, some new characters we can see in us only, that we will develop with by ourselves. And the same characters we can see in the next generation also through us. Why? We are only passing those characters to the next generation people. Okay. So those are the sudden change that has not seen in our complete family background only. So those are the mutations. So these mutations may be somewhat good for us, some are bad for us. Okay. So first of all, we'll go with the mutations. So why I am saying all these things? to make you to get some interest for preparing with this specific topic what now we are discussing. Okay, it's not meant that you have to write all these things in the IP exam. So here we have to write only the types of mutations and the definition for the mutation. Mutations means a sudden heritable change that occurs in an organism. A sudden heritable change that occurs in an organism is called as mutation. Here we have given complete detail. The change that occurs is heritable. Heritable means it can be seen in the next generations also. No chance of skipping out of this thing, this character, the next generation. That is the mutation. So, simple definition. Go with this. A sudden heritable change that occurs in an organism is called as mutations. So, how many types of mutations are there? How many types of mutations? Mutations are of basically two types. Structural mutations and gene mutations. Chromosomal mutations and gene mutations. Chromosomal mutations. And the second one is the gene mutations. So mutations are of two types. Chromosomal mutations, gene mutations. Chromosomal mutations means when the mutations occurs at the chromosomal level, those are called as the chromosomal mutations. That means by the changing the structure of the chromosomes, otherwise the number of the chromosomes increasing or decreasing, when it occurs, that is now called as the chromosomal mutations. Okay, and the gene mutations. Gene mutations means when a small part in the chromosome, when a gene is going to be changed in the chromosome, that is called as the gene mutation. So the gene mutation is the best example what we can say, that is a point mutation. Okay, that is the sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia occurs with the gene mutation. So first we will go with the chromosomal mutation. So the chromosomal mutations are again of the two types. So what we can say in the chromosomal mutations, two types that occurs with the structural change and the number change. Okay, structural chromosomal mutations, that is the one, and the numerical chromosomal mutations. Okay, structural chromosomal mutations and the numerical chromosomal mutations. Structural chromosomal mutations means when the structure of the chromosome was changed by the mutation, That is called as a structural chromosomal mutation. Numerical chromosomal mutations. When the number of the chromosome is going to be changed in an organism, that is called as the numerical mutations. Again, the structural mutations are the structural mutations are of 4 types. Okay, that is the deletion, duplication, translocation, and frame shift. And frame shift. And in the numerical mutations, that is the aneuploidy and euploidy. Okay, aneuploidy and euploidy. So now we will start with the structural mutations. Structural mutations. What is meant by structural mutations? When the structure of the chromosome was changed by adding a part, otherwise the complete chromosome, or deleting the one part of the chromosome is called as the structural mutations. With this, complete structure of the chromosome was changed to from its original one. That is the structural mutations. And these structural mutations are of 4 different types. The first one is the deletion. When we are saying the first one as the deletion, deletion means when a part of the chromosome was deleted. This is the chromosome which is having the centromere here, and in this part was deleted. With that, what happens? The chromosome became short. Okay, this is the deletion. So with this, structure was changed now. That is nothing but the deletion, structural chromosomal mutations. Okay, and the next one is the duplication. Duplication means when a part of the chromosome was added extra. Okay, in this, one part of the chromosome was this part. Otherwise, wait, I'll show you. 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the loci on the gene, on the chromosome. That means the specific locations of the gene code we have learned now. That think so that is the codes. Okay, nucleotides. Now, if this part was duplicated, okay, that means one more extra part of that one only present on the chromosome. Then what happens? the length of the chromosome increases first, right? 1, 2, before the centromere, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6. So with this, these two characters are going to be expressed again and again, right now. That is called as the duplication of the chromosome. And the another chromosome for this, that is a pair, having the same set. There is no change in it. But it cannot pair up with this. And this was also left out. So that is the structural duplication. With the duplication, the structure of the chromosome was changed. The next one is the translocation. Translocation. So what is meant by translocation? Translocation means when the part of a chromosome was cutted and again it was present on the same chromosome, but in the another part of the chromosome, not in the exact position. That is called as the translocation. So it has changed the location to place the cutted part. That is called as the translocation. If this is the chromosome, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the loci on the chromosome. Now, during this translocation, what happens? First of all, this part is going to be cutted. Okay. After the cutting, where it has to be placed there only, then only the sequence can be maintained now. But here it won't occur like that. It is making this occurrence of this part somewhere else. That is the translocation. It changes its location to insert the gene. That is called as the translocation. So with this, complete the structure of the chromosome changes because it cannot have the same pairing. Wait, I have written same one. Three, four, 5, 6, 7. So there is no such pairing between the 6 and the 4, 5 and the 3, 3 and the 5, 6 and the 4, 7 are only pairing. So here completely the order was missed, isn't it? So whenever the missed order of the gene location are there on the chromosome, then it cannot express itself as the original chromosome. That is the translocations. With the translocations, again we will see the structure of the chromosome was changed. And the last one is the frame shift mutation. Otherwise, inversions also we can say. We can say first of all with the inversions, then the frame shift mutation. Same one. Okay. Inversion. Inversions means when the part of the chromosome was cutted, has to be again joined to the chromosome as it is. But here it is going to be attached at the same place in the reverse manner. When I am holding my pen like this is the straight way. If I hold my pen like this, then it's the reverse manner now. So like that. Okay. So see here how it has occurs. These are the two chromosomes having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the Gene loci. Loci means where they are present. A specific position of a gene is called as a locus. There is a singular. Loci, plural. Many genes are there. All the 1, 2, 3 are not the numbers here. Those are the genes which are giving the specific character in an organism. So, without writing the gene name and all other things, I am representing that with the number so that it's easy for us to understand. Now, if this part was cutted and joined here only, but in the reverse manner, then how it looks. One, two. Before the centromere, two loci are there. After that, this part was cutted and rejoined in the reverse manner. That means 5, 4, 3, 6, 7. But here it's the same one. Okay, these are the inversions. So, at which place, otherwise, where this type of inversions, deletions, and the translocations will occur in the chromosomes during the reduction division, during the meiosis 1, that also in the prophase 1. We will see this type of structural mutations can occur in an organism. Okay, so whenever the inversions, the last one, 2 chromosomes are there now, having the centromere. So where they will overlap at one specific position. Take out like this, and it will be easy. Okay. One, two. Then what happens? It is overlapping, cutting, and rejoining in the reverse manner. That is the inversions. Okay. So once this was overlapped like this, the genes chromosomal arms were overlapped. Wherever the overlapping occurs, the point, wherever the gene chromosomal arms were joined, there cutting and rejoining occurs automatically by the chromosomes itself. Because like that, the enzymes were prepared, otherwise released by the chromosomes. Those are the endonucleases were released, as well as the ligase enzyme was released to cut and rejoin. Okay, so here this one is going to be cutted and rejoined, but reversely it will be joining to the chromosomal arm. So 3 was there, but reversely. So now this part is completely reversely attached to this. Okay, that is the 6, 5, 4, 7. This part. Okay, now here it will be having the same order. Then it will not cope up, otherwise it will not pair up with this and shows the structural changes in the organism. That is the inversions. And next comes the numerical changes. So here frame shift mutation is nothing but the inversion. With this inversions, what happens? The complete reading frame of the chromosomal arm was changed, so that is called as the frame shift mutation. Frame shift mutation is also called as the inversion. Okay, now comes with the numerical changes in the chromosomes. So whenever when the number of the chromosome, numerical changes means the number of the chromosomes to their original number, otherwise the only one chromosome is going to be changing from the original chromosomal number, that is called as the numerical mutations, numerical chromosomal mutations. And these numerical mutations, with this, the number of the chromosomes will change, decreasing, otherwise the increasing in the number of the original chromosomal number. So again, this is again divided into two types. There is a aneuploidy and the euploidy. So what is meant by aneuploidy and what is meant by euploidy? Euploidy means the organisms where the chromosomal number is going to be changing from for its original number. One chromosome is going to be added up, otherwise to the original chromosomal number only chromosomal number changes. That is the euploidy. So here we can call them, we can say as the monosomic. That is 2n minus 1. Okay. And next one is the trisomy. Okay, not the trisomy. Here we can call it as a, and the one extra chromosome was added. That is the haploid diploidy. Okay, when the ploidy of the organism was changed, that is the one what we can say in the numerical chromosomal mutation. Okay, in the euploidy. And the aneuploidy, in the aneuploidy, what we will say, when the original chromosomal number is going to be changing, that is to the original chromosomal number, one extra chromosome is going to be added up, otherwise deleted, that is called as the aneuploidy. So in this, if to the original chromosomal number, if one chromosome is going to be added up, that is called as the trisomy. And if one chromosome was deleted, that is the monosomy. And if one complete set was added up, or else one complete set was deleted, then it is the nullisomy. And if one chromosome is added, that is called as the triploid. Ploidy was changed. Triploid. Okay, like that we will do with the numerical changes, numerical mutations. So in this one, in this numerical mutations, whenever the one extra chromosome is going to be added up, otherwise deleted, otherwise complete set is going to be changed. With this, the structure of the organism changes. And this may be continued for the next generation. So completely the occurrence of the organism is going to be disturbed with the structural mutation as well as with the numerical mutation. Sometimes these structural mutations may not be coming to the next generations, may not be, we cannot say. But these numerical mutations, whenever those occur, those will definitely come into the next generations and they will change the organism occurrence in the nature itself. That is the And the last one is the gene mutation. What is meant by gene mutation? When a part of the chromosome, gene is a part of the chromosome. So when a gene is going to be adding up, otherwise deleting from the chromosome, that is called as the gene mutation. Okay, so this gene mutation, we can say with this can be occurred. A part of the chromosome is a gene. So what we have seen in the structural mutations, that is the frame shift mutation is also gene mutation. Okay, and the inversions is also gene mutation. A part of a chromosome is going to be changing now. That is also gene mutation. And all these ones we can explain with the gene mutation. And in the gene mutation, the best example what we can give is the sickle cell anemia. And this sickle cell anemia occurs by the deletion of one small fragment in the chromosome. That is the one which changes completely the structure of the RBC and leads to the anemic condition. There is the anemia occurs. So the structure of the RBC changes from the circular into the sickle cell. Spindle shape. Okay, so this is the sickle cell anemia. Till that, you have to write not more than this. In which gene the mutation occurs in the sickle cell anemia, and what is the okay. So like this, we can end up the mutation. So here you have to remember what we have to write this like this flow chart. If you take out, then that will be the helpful one for us. Now comes the next one. That is, so we have finished now with the genetics chapter, all SAQs. Okay. So all SAQs from the 9th chapter was over till now. And the next one is the 12th chapter SAQs were over. 13th chapter SAQs were over. Only the left out ones are the 14th chapter SAQs. Isn't it? So in the 14th chapter, 3 SAQs are there. The one is the what are biofertilizers? And write a short note on the biofertilizers. Biofertilizers means when the fertilizers that were made with the small living organism, that is called as the biofertilizers. These were made with small microscopic living organisms. That is called as the biofertilizers. And these biofertilizers, why we are making and why we are interested in this? These biofertilizers are the ones which will be useful for getting the good yield in the crop only. And these are the cheaper one than the original chemical fertilizers. And everyone can use. Once we are using means we can get the benefits, that is the profits can be seen in this by using this biofertilizers for at least 3 crops or 4 crops. That means every time no need for us to go with buying these fertilizers. That is economically very, very important now. So these are the cheap and best fertilizers, which damn sure, which shows the exact results by increasing the yield of the crop for 4 to 6 times. 4 to 6 times. Then these biofertilizers are the economically very less cost as well as environment safe. With this, the farmer, not the environment outside air is not going to be polluted. Not the farmer will get any such infections with these organisms. Not the yield, that is the plant products are also free with the chemicals, and the soil water is also free with the chemicals. So these are the environment safe. And examples for this, those are the azotobacterium and azospirillum. Azospirillum and azotobacter. These are the free living, okay, free living microorganisms which are used as a biofertilizers. And some are the symbiotic. Some organisms are living as a symbiotic associationship, which are symbiotic association. And these are the nostoc, Anabina, and oscillatoria. These are the organisms which are living as a symbiotic association with the higher plants, especially the paddy fields. Especially the paddy fields, we can use these organisms which will increases the yield into the 4 times to 8 times. And these belongs to the subclass cyanobacteria. Belongs to the subclass cyanobacteria. Okay, and whatever one more example is there, which is a symbiotic association, which shows as a symbiotic association with the higher organism. There is the Rhizobium bacterium. This is the another bacteria which lives as a symbiotic association with the higher plant, that is with the Fabaceae family, and increases the yield in the plant body itself. That is the Rhizobium bacterium. And this is the free living as well as the symbiotic organism. And what they will do, they will absorb the outside nitrogen as a free gas that is present, and convert that into the ammonia. So this ammonia is the most important one, which is helpful for the atmospheric nitrogen is converted into ammonia, NH3 or NH4 plus form, anything. Okay, that is all the cyanobacterial members will do this work in converting the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, and this ammonia helps for the host plant to show its growth vigorously. And with the growth was vigorous, then the yield will be more than the expected ones. That means if the yield is of the 20 tons, then we immediately, by using this biofertilizers, will get the yield of the 80 tons. That is the one what we are saying with this biofertilizers. So what we have to write in the biofertilizers, what are biofertilizers first of all? Biofertilizers means the fertilizers which were made with the living microorganisms are called as the biofertilizers. And what is the living small microscopic living organisms? When the fertilizers were made, that is called as the biofertilizers. And these biofertilizers will help out in increasing the yield to 4 to 6 times and increases the soil fertility level. And these are the cheaper in the cost. That means economically very, very important for the farmer, as well as these are the eco-friendly. That means environment free. So the environment, no pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and the yield in the plant yield also on the plant parts also, no traces of these organisms can be seen. So what we can say, it's a very useful one for us as well as for the farmer. That is the biofertilizers. And with this one, and examples of these organisms are the Azospirillum and Astrobacter. These are the free living organisms. And the next one is the organisms which shows the symbiotic association are the Nostoc Cannabina oscillatoria, which belongs to the subclass Cyanobacteria. And these are increasing the yield in the, especially in the paddy fields. And along with them, one more organism which lives as a symbiotic association with the higher plants is the Rhizobium bacterium, which lives in the symbiotic association with the Fabaceae family. Fabaceae family. So like this, we can say the organisms' names, and we can give the list of the organisms which are useful for which type of plants. Then we can say the uses of this. Then we can wind up 4 out of 4 we will get. Okay, so like this, you have to end up the answer in the way how you will get the good score as well as easy to remember. Okay, so with this, we have finished off for today's class, and tomorrow same time come for the same class, that is the botany second year. So we will have the look of the other 2 SAQs from the microbes in the human welfare. That is the 14th chapter, so that we will finish off the 14th chapter. Then we will move to the first chapter. Okay, transportation. Okay, right, students? So stay tuned to the same channel, same time. Till that, have a nice day. Right, thank you.